What's going on, everyone? In this video, we're going to be going over how to trade supply and demand. This ticker symbol that I'm going to be using for the example in this video is going to be Tesla. I love to trade Tesla. I think it's one of the best stocks that you can trade. If you have the account size to kind of allow you to trade options of Tesla, it can be one of the best trading stocks out there around, period. Currently, today is July the 13th. What I'm going to be looking at here is the 5-minute time frame. I'm going to kind of show you guys how exactly I draw up my supply and demand zones and how I use those to make trades, make entries, make exits, and when I want to stay away from taking a potential trade. Now, if we think about what is supply, what is demand, an area of supply is going to act as an area of resistance. It's going to act as an area where stocks in the past have gotten rejected, okay? Or it's going to act as where a potential stock has had and found buyers. So what does that mean? When a stock runs into supply, there are sellers sitting there. There is price action not allowing us to go higher. However, when we do break through those sellers, buyers can now push the price action higher. Now, when we come down to a level of quote unquote support, that's an area of demand. That's where we have buyers stepping in ready to buy the stock. When sellers start to outweigh the buyers and we start breaking down levels of demand, we can go to the next demand zone. That's always going to be your measured potential. Okay, so just so that kind of makes sense. So just looking at the price action today, intraday, being that we are traders, we're going to be trading in and out of these stocks on an intraday level. We can pretty much leave our supply and demand levels on our screen until we either confirm them to the upside or confirm them to the downside. Then from there we can kind of adjust and tinker with them depending on where supply and demand kind of pans out with the price action. Right now, what we're looking at, current stock price sitting at around 704 in the after hours. Now you can see I have a line here at 703.78. And why do I have this line here? If we were to go back and look at some previous areas where the stock was rejected at, you can see a lot of price action here that's also correlating with where we're kind of sitting at in the after hours session. So I went ahead and put a level of demand here. Now, once we break through this 703 zone, what would we be potentially looking for next? This 695.97. Why? If we go back to the price action that we had in the middle of the day, when we broke through the 695, 696 area, we came up here, had some areas of trouble, came back down, back tested multiple times here, and you can see kind of created this floor before we finally started to explode to higher levels. So that's why multiple touch points here of support. We're going to use this as our level of demand. This is where buyers were comfortable stepping in and buying the stock. So if Tesla does decide to break down below 703, it could potentially go to 695, 696. That is going to be a potential trade. Once Tesla starts to lose 703, 702, 700, you see it break through this level of demand. Maybe you get some sort of bounce, but never really gets back above and starts building over 703. We can expect that price to kind of trickle down into 695. Now, if we start to lose the 695 price target, we could expect to come down to a price of around $684. Why is that? You can see here in the pre-market session, as well as when we opened today on the 13th, we had two major areas of rejection. Okay, these two areas of rejection, once they were broken, we really started to fly. And once we started to fly, you could see we came up to these these next areas of supply. So if we do break below 696, we do have potential to get down to 684. Now, if we start to lose this level of demand below 684, this next level would be 671. So once we start to break 684, what you would be looking for is a 5-minute close, since we're going to be using the 5-minute chart to kind of trade the supply and demand. Any close below 684.73, if we get a confirmation candle to confirm that new low price, then we would be taking this short with a profit taking potential zone of around 670. Now, I never like to just have this line set in stone and tell myself it has to hit 671 or else I'm not selling. I like to start taking profits on the way down. The faster it starts to speed up, the faster I like to take my profits and get the heck out of the trade. Now, if we kind of look to the top side here, we can see in the pre-market session here, we had a little bit of resistance here, as well as once we finally did break this resistance, we kind of broke into this next zone here. So 709, 710 is an area of supply. If the price action gets over 709, 7010, we could put ourselves back into this channel of a range between 726 and 709, 710. Obviously, you can just look at the price action here, back test strategies, back test supply and demand, back test what the price action did. As soon as we broke through 709, 710, we immediately ran all the way up to 726, which is why I put my level of resistance, my level of supply up here. And you can see once we came back down, we came to the lower middle half of this range here and then found some support, started to bounce and came back up into this zone. So we can see that 726, 725 is acting as a significant level of supply. Now, I had in my Discord today, if Tesla was to break 725, 726, we potentially had room to move higher. That next price higher would be a price target of around $736. So that's around $10 worth of room, more than enough room in the trade for us options players to kind of get in where we fit in. Now, you can see once we did start to get weak towards the end of the day, we closed, and here's where we closed, the light gray being after hours, the darker gray being during hours. We closed above this level of demand, that 709 area. So you can see a previous area of resistance here as well as here, once broken through, then became an area of support. Now, once we broke through this 709, we can expect to come down to the next area of demand. That next area of demand that I have in there, this area of 703 will get adjusted. The only reason it is acting as a level of demand now is because this is the after hours price action as to where we are currently stopping. Now, if we do hold this 703 and we break back into the 709 channel, I will just remove this line or just, kind of disregard it, just due to the fact that, it's going to be invalid. Now, if we lose the 703 area and trade lower, I will disregard this. If we hold the 703 area and break back into the 709, I will leave it. I hope that makes sense. So just to recap that last part, if Tesla loses 703 in the after hours or pre-market, and let's say we stop at 700, right? And then we bounce and get back into the 709 zone, I will move this level of demand down to 700 or 702, whatever it stops at. However, if we hold between now and pre-market, if we hold 703, I will leave this here because then it would be valid that it acted as an area of demand where buyers did step in and push us higher. I hope that makes sense. That's how you guys can trade supply and demand. If you guys want more in-depth information and you actually want to walk through this live, you guys want to, practice this strategy, you guys want to make money day trading, make sure to visit my website at evolutiontraders.com. Become a lifetime member. You guys are going to get access to all of those private Discord channels, as well as my daily watch list on stocks that I like to trade, the levels that I'm looking at. Also, I do live trading in there where we kind of hop on a voice call, a webinar, and we kind of go over stocks intraday where I'm doing these levels live, so you guys can kind of pick my brain and see what I think, and we can all kind of analyze the chart together and say, if I miss something personally, say, hey, you know what, we've got a level of demand here, maybe you kind of want to stay away from this trade because of XYZ. It kind of helps when you have a more sets of eyes on the particular trade that you're trading. With that being said, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. It would definitely help out my channel, and I'll see all of you guys in the Discord this week. I look forward to it. I only take around 3 to 5 members a month just because I want to keep the group small and I want to be able to teach without being overwhelmed with having too many people all at different stages of the game. So 3 to 5 people each and every single month. I've got a few in there already this month, so I'm only looking to add a couple more. If you do manage to make it into this month's cut, I look forward to working with you. If not, I'll see the rest of you guys in August.